friends, today is subtraction of integers. I hope addition of integers went well. You're going to find out you will like this. This is very, very similar. So we talked a little bit about our song here. And just a review, you're going to do one of the other things. You are either going to do same sign, which means you are going to add and keep those integers, or if they have different signs, you are going to subtract. Take the sign of the higher number, and then you will be exact. Okay, so slide 2 here. Maybe. Slide 2 starts off with some subtracting problems. Remember, at the very beginning on number 1 here, there is no sign in front of the 8. If there is no sign, that means it is positive. So the 8 has a positive, the 13 has a negative. Every number has one sign in front of him. Same signs, add and keep? Nope, not here. Different signs mean that you subtract. So 13 minus 8 gives you a 5. Take the sign of the higher number. 13 is higher. He has a negative. Then you'll be exact. Your answer is a negative 5. Number 2, we have a negative 10 put together with a minus 7. The 10 has a minus in front of it. The 7 has a minus in front of it. We can use the words minus and negative interchangeably. They both mean the same thing. It means to do the opposite of. So let's sing the song. Same signs, add and keep. Yes, we have same signs here between the two numbers. So I add the numbers and I keep the sign. Letter A. Same signs, add and keep. Well, the sign in front of the 6 must be a positive. There is not a sign there. So the 6 has a positive, the 12 has a minus. Same signs, add and keep. No. Different signs, subtract. Yes. 12 minus 6 is 6. Take the sign of the higher number, be a minus, then you'll be exact. Letter B. Same signs, add and keep. They are the same signs, both of these. So we know our answer is going to be negative. We add and keep. Therefore, our answer is a negative 35. Letter C, once again, same signs, add and keep. So you are going to add the numbers together and keep. Okay? All right, slide 3. This gets a little bit more interesting because we have to do our extra step here. Step number 1 on this, we need to simplify the signs. Okay, so if we simplify the signs, remember, if there is a positive positive or a negative negative right next to each other, we can turn that into one positive or plus sign. Likewise, if there is a plus and a minus and a plus right next to each other, we can turn that into one minus sign. So by right next to each other, I see these guys right here. I have two minuses. That means do the opposite of the opposite. It means a plus. So in that case, 1 plus 2 is 3. Silly me. So 1 plus 2 is 3. And for whatever reason, I cannot erase. There we go. And so we have 3. All right, so let's go on to number 4. The 10 has a minus or a negative sign in front of it. All is well. The 7, however, has 2 signs in front of it. I need to simplify those signs. Once again, this is what I'm looking at. 2 negatives make 1 plus sign. Now the 7 has a plus sign. We sing our song. Same signs, add and keep. Nope, not here. Different signs, subtract. Sure do. This is a different sign in this. So I'm going to subtract. Take the sign of the higher number. 10 is higher. He has a negative in front of him. Then you'll be exact. Letter D. The 4 has no sign in front of him. So we assume that that's a positive. I go on to these two right here, and I see there are 2 signs right next to each other. I need to simplify those. That minus minus becomes 1 plus sign. So if I were to rewrite that, it might look like a positive 4 plus 12. Let's not read more into that. I could still sing my song, same signs, add and keep. Well, of course, I'm going to add them together and keep. I'm going to keep that. Let's go on to number 5. So I want to evaluate. Evaluate is a fancy word for solve. So what is x here? X is a negative 6. So I start off my sentence with a negative 6. I have a minus, and then y. Y is a negative 5. So minus 6 minus a negative 5. Well, I'll be darned. I have two signs right next to each other, right here. A negative negative becomes 1 plus sign. So my new and improved answer, or my new and improved expression is negative 6 plus 5. Sing your song. Same signs add and keep? Nope. Different signs subtract? Yes. 6 minus 5 is 1. Take the sign of the higher number. 6 is higher. Then you'll be exact. Okay, so number 6 is the exact same kind of problem there. You will put in that value that you are looking for. Okay, so if we're looking at these got it problems, you have a b here. B in this case is a negative 8. So you're going to look at negative 8 minus 10. Every number has one sign in front of him. Same signs add and keep. You're going to add the numbers, keep the sign. All right, so those are self-explanatory there. We're going to go on to slide 5. All right, so on slide 5, remember, slide 5, we talk about a balance. Well, a balance of negative 52 means you've gone into an overdraft. Nonetheless, we're going to start off with a negative 52 balance. The bank charged her a fee of $10 for having a negative balance. So if they're going to charge you a fee, that means you're going to have to pay that. If you have to pay it, that's $10 more that you are going to have to take out. So with that being said, same signs add and keep. You're going to add them and keep that. Now you have a balance of a negative 62. Okay, you will continue with the rest of the problems on this page. You will go on to page 6. And here we are doing the exact same thing. Notice on question number 1, we have 0 take away 10 is a negative 10. Most of these here are pretty self-explanatory. You get to this guy right here, and you have two signs right next to each other. You need to make sure that you simplify your signs first. These two signs will become one plus sign. When we get to slide 7, we want to know the difference. So the difference in anything is going to be subtraction. That is a key word, difference. So these are all subtraction, if you can see that. Now, this is also reading a chart. So when you are doing this, it says, what is the difference between the highest elevation in Alabama? So Alabama, highest elevation, we start off 2407, and the lowest elevation in Louisiana. So we go to Louisiana, the lowest elevation. Now, remember what we said here? We wanted the difference. So 2407 minus a negative 8. Okay, minus a negative 8. Let me erase this little guy out of here. And so if that's the case, then I subtract those two. However, I know that these two signs are right next to each other. And when I have a minus and minus, they become 1 plus. So it really should look like a 2407 plus 8. Now, how does that make sense? Well, let's add these together. I have a 2415. Is the difference between the highest elevation in Alabama and the lowest elevation in Louisiana. If I were to draw some sort of a thermometer number line, here is my 0. All of this is my 2407. This is my negative 8. They want to know what the difference is. That means the difference from here to here. And putting those together would be the total amount of what they are different. Okay, so when you go on to the last slide, these are a little bit more tricky, so you do not have to solve them. However, for a challenge, I would suggest going about them. And so here, if I have a negative j, I see that j is 4, so I have a negative 4, plus h, so I have plus a negative 12. Minus k. So I have minus, and k is 15. Now, those really aren't going to be too hard other than simplifying these two signs here to become one minus sign. Now, let's just take two at a time. I have a negative 4 minus 12. Same signs, add and keep. Yes. Different signs, subtract. That is not what we're doing here. So I add these two together. I get 16 and I keep the sign. I have now solved this part here. Same signs, add and keep. Yes. So I'm going to add them together. I get 31 and I keep that negative. I have a negative 31. So friends, that is not really as hard as what you thought it would be. So make sure that you go through. Number one, you are going to simplify your signs. Simplify your signs. Any two signs that are right next to each other, if they are the same, you will simplify them to one positive sign. If they are different, you will simplify them to one minus sign. Now, remember that only works for signs that are right next to each other. Step two, sing your song. Same signs, add and keep. Different signs, subtract. Take the sign of the higher number, then you'll be exact. And that, my friend, is our lesson for today.